So much so that we're not going to have church because even though it's just a dusting, it ain't a driving issue. The roads are clear, but our sidewalks to our church is just uphill. Every sidewalk's on a slant, or you have to climb a hill to get to it. And we wouldn't have a lot there tonight, but some of them just don't need to be out there sliding around. But they're dedicated, and they're wonderful people, so I know that we had to tell them, let's just don't go tonight.
That's good.
Mama probably would have not went because she don't need to get out in there. Here's what we're having. They've done dipped it up to let it cool. Mama's got more juice, and she's got white bread, just a piece of light bread. I was going to make cornbread, and I thought, I don't need cornbread. Mama won't eat cornbread, and I'm not going to make it. So I'll have beef stew and coffee.
You got a good meal.
Let's bless it, Mama, and then we'll talk about it. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful meal. We thank you for providing it for us, and we thank you most of all, Lord, that we're able to sit here and partake it together. Lord, be with all of our friends as they gathered here tonight and just answered their prayer requests too, dear Lord. We know you're a healing God and a praying God, dear Lord. We know as we pray to you that you'll answer our prayers. Watch over our nation, watch over this world. Be with us and be with everyone out on the roads and traveling and walking on slick spots tonight, dear Lord. Just be with each and every one of them. In your name we pray. Amen. So we had snow this morning, like a good little trace to a half inch. Everything on the grass was white. Rooftops was white. Roads were clear. But it was 78 degrees yesterday. So it's 6:20 now and it's 35 degrees. 35, 30, those are good snow temperatures. And it came and the roofs is white again. Grass is white. It got pretty today. Sunshine. It all melted away. And my granny would have said it was laying on for another if it stayed. But when it left, we shouldn't have had enough. But we had been warned. We was probably going to get more tonight. I thought it was going to be later on, though. Yeah. And our little youngins was going to practice for their play. It's going to be a simple play. But sometimes the biggest messages are in the simplest actions. So it's going to be just the nativity. The reason for the season. And
that's the main thing.
So I talked to one of the children's youth directors, and she said, we were just going to go through it. She said, it not like they really have to learn anything. Just sit down and we're going to sing some songs. She says, so we can still do it. So they're just going to present it anyway, which is a good thing. Our kids are talented. They're wonderful. And I don't think they need to practice. Do you, Mama?
No.
Mama, you look all snuggled up in your little...
Well, just talking about snow makes me freeze. I don't know why.
Looking out there at it would really freeze you.
I did look out there at it.
It's pretty. It's pretty.
This morning it was pretty. Everything was white and stuff. And I thought, boy, you're not going out in that.
Taste them potatoes, Mama.
They're good. What are those? Yukon Goes?
Mm-hmm. I bought you the good stuff. And look how pretty them carrots are.
Mm-hmm.
Mmm.
This is what I've been waiting on.
The carrots were so bright and pretty in the pack. I couldn't leave them at the store. I thought, I've got to get those for Mama's beef stew. You all right?
Yeah, I coughed just as I took a bite.
She's trying to get some attention. You want me to beat you on the back?
I'd rather not.
Is that what it is?
No.
You want me to hold your arm up like, you know, when you're a kid, little baby,
don't do that.
They jerk that arm up and act like they're trying to
get it done.
I always wonder, what do they expect when they pull their arm up?
For it to come out, I guess.
Is that what it's for?
I don't know. Old people didn't know behind me.
I remember when I was a kid, they'd jerk your arm and go, and you're trying to cough up while somebody's trying to take your arm out of the socket.
Oh, Lord.
I hope you ain't got down there at that hospital and caught some cold.
I hope so, too. It was warm in my room.
This beef stew is delicious, so let's talk about it. There's only one thing that would make it any better. And I didn't put any salt in it. But What I did is I took those Yukon Go. I started to say carrots, folks. Yukon Go potatoes, and I peeled them, washed them good, and then I just quartered them up in these pretty good sized pieces here. You can see. And let's show you into the pot while I'm telling you. And I just cut them up in pretty good sized pieces, like you would for mashing. And then I took those beautiful carrots and I washed them good. And I cut those in thirds. And there was those little ones. And I took an onion. And it was 3/4 of an onion. And I just chopped it up good. And then, I know we need a little bit more onion. So instead of putting more onion, because Mama, sometimes at night, it's not too late though. It bothers her. So I just put dehydrated onions. And we found, and you may find the same, she can tolerate dehydrated onions.
Mm-hmm.
And I did put pepper in it. Did I put too much, Mama?
No, it's good.
But I put a little extra pepper because you wouldn't get no salt. And I did put I boiled them taters and them carrots. Here's the cheat. I put them in beef broth. So it had some salt in it. So the only salt it has is what was in that beef broth. We ain't supposed to talk about it.
No.
But it's good, ain't it?
Yeah.
The flavors are good. My mama was talking and I said, I don't miss salt like I did. It's like bread. I used to really miss bread. I wouldn't even considered beef stew without bread. Without
Or cornbread.
Wouldn't even thought about it. Tonight I thought, I still like cornbread. But I thought, it's got potatoes in it. We'll do without. It's snowing, like I said, so this is perfect snow stew.
Snow stew.
Do you have certain meals that the weather, the time of year makes you want it? It's like you relate to snow. I want beef stew, chili, homemade vegetable soup. They just taste so good those times. I'm the same way in the spring. When spring hits and I see that little bit of lettuce coming up and onions, I want lettuce and fried taters and baked beans and biscuits so bad. I can go all winter and not even think about them. I don't even really want them right now. But come March, I'll be wanting them.
Oh, yeah.
That's just like on 4th of July. No other time of the year do I crave a good old-fashioned hot dog with chili and all the fixings, or a good hamburger grilled on the grill. I guess it's comfort. So when we talk about comfort food, those are the things we're talking about. The things that bring you back to your childhood, or bring you back to a happy day, or bring you back to a happy day last year. And you think, oh, we had that time and it was so good. So we do relate a lot of foods to seasons or days or events. It's just the way we are.
We didn't have ice cream a lot when we was little. Just every once in a while. And 4th of July was a big deal to us.
Big deal.
We had watermelon and ice cream.
That's like Christmas fruit. Y'all didn't get fruit all the time. So
No, we didn't.
getting an orange and an apple and that stuff in your stocking.
And candy, it was all a treat.
Mama, I don't know if we ever talked about this before, but something was said the other night. It intrigued me, and I thought, I need to ask Mama.
What was that?
When you hung your stockings up by the chimney with care, what were they?
It was mommies that old wore out stockings that had holes in them and runners in
So they
them.
were real.
Stockings.
So they were stockings.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I just always imagined they were the little red fuzzy.
Oh, no.
with the
We
little-
never had that.
So Yins had nylon stockings, like? Well,
And when the oranges and apples would go in them, they would go zoom.
that's what I was trying to say. Did they not hit the floor?
No, they just go so far because they just went up above her knees. They wasn't pantyhose. We didn't have pantyhose.
They were.
Stockings that she wore.
Well, that's it. I had never we really had never discussed that. You talked about getting oranges and stuff in your stockings, but they were real stockings.
The real stockings.
Did you ever at any point switch over to the fuzzy ones?
No, we never did have those.
What about you all? You people, that from back in that era where Mama come from, did you have fancy stockings? I'll tell you something I remember as a child, and probably a very little short period of time in history that you all, like my age, and remember. When I was a child, all the grocery stores had these red mesh plastic stockings. And they were full of stuff. And they had a big loop on the back of them. You could hang them up. But people would have them, and you'd get them at different occasions. I had a cousin. She was quite older, but she always made sure I got one of those every year. And one year we had a real bad snow. Here she come walking through the snow to bring us that stocking. It was just a little plastic one from the store downtown. Mama never did buy me none of those. Because I had the fuzzy one that you filled with other stuff.
Yeah.
But you would get one occasionally from that aunt or that uncle that seen them and thought, boy, he'd like that. And it had plastic toys in it. And it had little
Candies.
like little cards, I remember. And just little stuff in it. It had hard candies. Nothing perishable. Sometimes some caramel flavored stuff, but nothing like chocolate or something that would melt, I guess because it was going to hang there a minute. But does anybody remember those? I remember those, Rose says. I don't see them anymore. Do they have them anymore? I don't think so. My mama used the knee highs. Yep. Did you? That's what you had to for yours, Sherry, for the stocking hung in with care? Hey, John and Mama. Hey, Tammy. I had regular socks. Mostly oranges and apples, Donna says. So you had like tube socks. That's neat too. Homemade broccoli cheddar soup here. Ooh. That's good too. Mama, I ain't made no homemade cheddar soup in a long time. Thank you for that notion. Ranella, that is a cool. That would be a good supper. We never hung any. We never hung up any stockings there. Was too many of us 8 kids. Shirley Jones' mama had 8 brothers and sisters, but they all weren't at home at the same time.
My oldest ones was.
I was born in 1956. No fancy stockings.
No fancy.
Deanna, they just wasn't, was they? How many of y'all used tube socks or something? We always had knitted stockings, and my mama filled paper bags with oranges, apples, peppermint, walnut. Oh, that would be neat. I had a knitted stocking that a lady at church made me, and it was made out of granny squares that she crocheted, and if I'm not mistaken, she would stuff tissue paper in the toe of it, and there was a glass that went down in the long part of it, and it would be full of candies and peppermint sticks and stuff, and that glass would be in there. And Mama would use it year after year. Where's that at?
I don't know.
On the table. I wonder where my Rosie stocking is. That was her name, Miss Rosie. We lived in a mobile home and didn't have a fireplace, so I remember stockings. Oh, Rhonda, we didn't have one either. We had a coal furnace in the basement, but we didn't have a fireplace when I was a kid.
But we hung a stocking.
But we hung a stocking over the I don't know if it was just coincidental, but it happened to be there over the heater, over the vent that come up in the dining room on the wall on a nail, in the frame of the door facing, or the window facing.
Well, you would you'd hang a stocking and we'd hang one for your daddy. And what would he always
Oh,
get?
yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Mama would hang me and Dad one. I don't know why you didn't hang you one. I don't know how come I didn't figure that one out.
Because I filled them and done them.
But me and him got a stocking. I didn't have brothers and sisters. So I'd have all kinds of toys and stuff and little... back in my day, Hot Wheel cars were the bomb diggity. And I always got several of them at Christmas. Because I've got cases full of them. And I'd get a case or I'd get a cars. Loved Hot Wheel cars. And I'd get Hot Wheel cars and I would get little figures like Star Wars figures. And I still have them that you could play with and little other, stuff like that. You'd get. And I remember mine before that and Daddy's would have maybe an old orange or some orange.
No, he always just got
coal or
got coal.
Or banana peel. You had old junk in there before.
Yeah, but you would lie, Daddy just got cold, Daddy just got cold. And you'd go behind his back and laugh and tell me and stuff. And then when you got in front of him, you'd say, Daddy, I'll share mine with you.
Y'all don't believe that, do you?
Mm-hmm.
We never did stockings at Christmas. Glenda, a lot of people didn't, I guess. Okay, I want to ask you all. Mom and I had this discussion. We have some very important discussions sometimes. I mean, life-changing, world-changing. Ain't it right, Mama?
Well, a big discussion.
You know the song, the Christmas song. It says, and exactly, and I don't know who writes this song, I'm just quoting it. Exactly at 12 o'clock, he'll be coming down the chimney tonight. Did you all ever think that Santa Claus came in exactly at 12 o'clock? We didn't know what time he was coming. We still don't know what time he's coming. And then there's a line in there that says, hang a peppermint stick for old Saint Nick. Did y'all hang a peppermint stick for him? We never did have that tradition either. I remember later, not early, but we would leave cookies for Santa all the time. Mama never would let me leave milk because that was wasteful. But she'd say, he don't need milk. He'll have something to drink. He just needs some cookies. So I'd put up cookies for him. Then later you had to leave the reindeer carrots and stuff. Little piece of carrot or a little piece of this. And you'd have to for a snack for the reindeer. Did y'all ever do that? We always left some homemade cookies. Like no-bake cookies or something like that. I've got a feeling that Santa really liked chocolate when I was a kid.
Oh, I reckon so. I'd vouch for that.
I will too. My granny made us paper bags. Janet, we kind of do goodies she called. Oh, okay. The same thing, Janet. Pokes. Your granny made paper bags of goodies. She called them pokes. Our church does that, and we call them pokes. It'll have apple, orange, pack of gum.
We call
candies.
it Poke Sunday.
We call it Poke Sunday. And it's just a brown paper bag. It has to be brown. One year they tried to do white, and I said, you can't do white Poke bags. They have to be
Never
grocery.
heard of it before.
We got brown ones. So it's a brown bag. You twist the top. You have to twist the top. We do a video about every year of us fixing them. We may not do it this year since we've done it for 4 or 5 years. You've seen a lot of pokes. And we put them at the church, and usually we put them there somewhere, and after Sunday school, everybody comes and gets them. But that's Poke Sunday. And that will be the 22nd.
We always was thrilled to death to get that, but now kids nowadays have so much of that stuff, and
they want that Poke, though.
They want it, but it's not as big a thrill to them as what it was when
I don't know,
was
Mom.
a-
They look thrilled.
Yeah.
Mama's. Pokes, Janet, yeah, pokes, we're into that. Rainy here in Virginia, Norma, it might change, onions. It's already at 34 and it's still snowing. Hi, John and Mama. Beef stew does sound delicious on a cold winter night. Well, Karen, it does. Well, this is the planned meal. Sunday was the
Roast.
prequel to this meal. You know, like when you have a movie. And
It was their fault mentioning beef stew on
one of
there.
y'all done it last week to Mama, and she wanted
2 or
it.
3 of them did.
So she said, I got a roast in there. Why don't you fix it Sunday? We'll have mashed potatoes and green beans and have roast. Then you can fix me some good beef stew Monday when I get after that procedure.
But I didn't get to come home.
She didn't come home. So then last night when we finally did get home,
It was too
it's
late.
too late. So it bumped all the way up to Wednesday. But it's good on Wednesday.
It
ain't
was
Mama?
good today, I'll tell you that.
Is this
It's
what you
no
wanted?
wrinkle. Oh, yes.
Can you eat a little bite of it tomorrow?
Oh, I'll have to. Looks like there's quite a bit left. My son overcooks sometimes.
Mama, I really don't think I overcooked this time. I think I planned on having a little extra, but we just eat less, and I only did 4 potatoes and 1 bag of carrots, and
It's
that beef
good.
that was left, and the 3/4 of an onion, and 1 thing of broth. I really couldn't have made less.
You done good. We'll eat it for lunch tomorrow. It might be cold and snowy tomorrow, you know.
Even
but
if it ain't, that'll be good.
yeah. Taste is good now.
And those potatoes shouldn't be too starchy.
No, they're good.
When I was shopping, I ran into the Aldi. Do y'all ever do Aldi? We have one in Corbin, which is 25 miles from here. But they have always at ours. I don't know. Maybe it's a universal thing at Aldi's. You can always get delicious produce. I got blueberries. Even this time of year, they had strawberries. I didn't get any strawberries. But they had beautiful produce. And I really stocked up on produce.
They usually have wonderful produce.
And they have good cheeses. They have cheeses I can't get here. So I'm like a
Kid in a candy
I started
store
to say that, but more like a mouse in a cheese shop.
buying all the cheeses.
I did forget, I picked out a fresh Parmesan wedge.
And you left it.
And I laid it down to pick up some smoked Gouda and look at another cheese.
Oh,
And when I got home last night,
you didn't
I
have
didn't have my Parm wedge. And I thought, well, I guess I didn't get it. So,
Stuff like that happens at times.
I know I didn't need any. I got that good jarred stuff. They done graded that one for me. I do like fresh parm on some things, but I didn't get it. You want some more, Mama?
I'll eat me some more. I just want to let you talk.
Well, it's been good.
Yeah.
It's a good little supper, and it didn't take me long to throw it together either.
No. I really helped. I laid in there in the bed while he done it. That's what the doctor said.
She's still on
Senior is.
restriction, so I'm gonna leave her on restriction for a while.
He said 2 to 3 weeks. I think 2 weeks is enough.
You can be on restriction for a while.
Yeah.
I never do like to let you do much.
No.
Cooking is hard. Cooking is not easy. And when you're stirring, I said this yesterday, but when you're stirring and she cannot use a mixer, that was one of the exact, and no using a mixer of any. I thought, wow, that's very specific. But
I paid her $10 to say
Oh,
that.
okay.
No, I didn't.
Here I was thinking.
I didn't do that.
So if she can't use a mixer, and the doctor told her before when she wasn't doing as well, do not sweep. I'm going to share this with you all. Don't sweep or mop. That's very hard. Don't do a weed eater. That's very hard.
Don't bend over much.
Don't bend over a lot.
Don't stretch over your head much.
Don't stretch over your head, and don't pick up, deadlift a lot of stuff.
And don't lift over 5 pounds.
And yeah, that's what we was going by before. And so now you're still on that for a while. Mm-hmm. But I asked the doctor
I can lift a bag of sugar, but I can't lift a bag of flour hardly. Because sugar's down to 4 pounds and the flour's still at 5.
No sugar, no flour.
Yeah.
Do you notice how she could lift the sweet for nothing else?
Lift the
Mama's
what?
like, if you really the sweet, you could lift sugar
Yeah.
because that's your favorite.
Well,
thing.
it's 4 pounds now instead of 5.
I asked the doctor. I said, "What about what can I feed her?" And she said she can go back to her regular diet. And I said, "Well, we're doing low sodium, low carb, and all that." And she said, "That's fine if that's what you just want to do, but she can go back to whatever she was eating
Not
before."
as much salt as
She said, "I would, monitor salt, but she can have more than she could during this period." And she said, "But whatever you guys are doing is doing good, so just keep doing that." And I told Mom, I said, "We really do need to keep doing that because we're about over the hardest parts of."
Oh, yeah.
You just ate a little piece of bread. I mean, not even a piece, but a
No.
little bit of a piece of bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done good.
All things in moderation. Okay, I've stopped y'all, but we're going to get out from here. Hey, John and Mama. Glad Mama's better. Linda, the Lord healed her.
That's right.
And I know some of y'all may not subscribe to that, and that's fine. But even the doctor, his response to me was, I'm not sure what happened. But she had an 80% blockage, and when it got in there, it was gone. Now, this wasn't something they read off a test. They did read it off a test.
A camera.
But he went inside of her heart a month and a half ago to do stents and to do the bypass, the stretching of the stent, and he wouldn't do it because the pressure was so much. Couldn't give her more dye because her kidneys were in such bad shape. But he went in there and took pictures of the 80% blockage, and he took pictures of the narrowing of the stent and the plaque buildup. He said, "We'll have to do 2, and we may put 2 in that one vein that's 80%. So it could be up to 3 and maybe another one. We'll see when we get in there." So we went in fully expecting to do 2 for sure. And possibly 3 and possibly 4. We didn't know. And he's come out and he said, "Your mama did great. No stents, everything." I said, "Oh, no." I went to the negative, I guess I shouldn't have, but we had just gone through that a month and a half ago. Couldn't do anything. And I thought, "Oh, no, here we go again. What are we going to have to do?" We've been building and building and building to get her up to this. And I thought she's ready, and now there's no stent. I said, "No stent?" And he said, "None was needed." And I said, "None was needed." He said, "I was able to do angioplasty on the stent that was already in there. When I pulled it, when I was doing it, the plaque come off from it. So it's clear now."
And wider than it was.
And he said, "And I'll be able to get the diameter to where it should be." He said, "So she won't have any more problem with that one." And he said, and I said, "What about the 80% blockage?" He said, "I don't know. It's gone." He said there was no blockage. He said there was 2 little spots, and he said a plaque on the sides. And he said nothing unusual, and we could not stent those. Or so insignificant. He said, and that shouldn't give her any problems either. So, I mean, we're faith-based, and we know. And our pastor had prayed a week ago.
And the whole church.
Well, the church prayed, but he had prayed for Mama, and he had said, "I'm not going to ask the Lord to patch her up and make her better." He said, "I want to ask the Lord to remove it, take it away, and make her whole, complete, 100%. And I said, what a wonderful, wonderful blessing. And we give him all the credit and all the glory. And what a witness that is. So that's how we believe it. If you don't, that is fine. And a lot of people don't believe everything, stuff like that. But to us, that's the only answer.
Yeah. It was there and then it was gone.
And even the doctor himself said, "I don't know. But it was there and it's gone." Folks, we know. But Thank y'all for your prayers.
Oh, yes.
I
Thank
truly give
everybody.
y'all credit for sending up prayers. Our church has prayed. Y'all have prayed. You know, and God hears those prayer bills. And I think prayer changes things. And I think that's the reason sometimes we just need to pray and give it to the Lord and be still and let God. Ringing those prayer bells. Well, God hears those. And when He hears a lot of them, He wants to make His children happy. And what a blessing it is. And we thank you all for your prayers. Yesterday, I got me some chocolate-covered cherries.
I did.
Every Christmas, I try to buy some. Reminds me of my childhood.
Yes, it does.
Mom and I have this little thing we do all the time. And we're not picking on any clerks in any stores. And they never know about this. It's just our private little joke. So, like, if I bought this coffee cup, it says, give it to God. And I did. This is one of them. I seen this and I had to have it. I didn't need it. I got plenty of coffee cups. So when I pulled it out of the bag, and this has been a month ago or so, Mama said, you did not buy another coffee cup, did you? You did not. I'm telling you. I said, Mama, I didn't buy that. That clerk stuck that in my bag, trying to get me in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have a word with them, she said, because you got plenty of coffee cups. I said, Mama, I didn't get it. I don't know how it got in there. I'm as surprised as you are. Now, first of all, she knows exactly how I got in there.
Oh, yeah.
So last night, I'd gone to the Family Dollar. And when I checked out, I saw all those rolling through. And I thought, so when we got home, I was going to the bank and I said, that clerk has put these chocolate-covered cherries in this bag. And Mom said, don't you say nothing against them. You'll hurt their feelings. I'll just keep them and eat them. I said, well, thank you for helping them out. Because that's just what we go on all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So that clerk last night stuck some chocolate-covered cherries.
She was so sweet. She knowed I liked them, I think.
The Queen Anne brand. And
Milk
some more
chocolate.
things. What else did they stick in there on me?
Those little peanut butter crackers.
Peanut butter
When I
crackers?
get my sugar drops, I'll eat them one at night or something.
I just didn't know what was going on when I unbagged that.
Yeah. I just had one bad thing.
We do every year. And if she don't buy them, I always buy her some because it is a part of her childhood memories. Plus, she just loves them.
I do.
I'd like to make some sometime.
I tried making them one time.
You can make them.
Yeah.
But you can buy them when they're so good.
My first cousin, when we was in the lower grades, there's only like 39 cents or 49 cents a box back then. I think 39 or 29 maybe. I don't know. It's cheap. And she got them for her Christmas gift. And I got something else. I don't even remember what I got.
Was that the hair brat year?
No. She got mixed match hair brats on you. She always got bad gifts, she thought. And so I said, I'll take them, and gave her what I got. And she was pleased, and I was really pleased because we couldn't afford all them chocolate covered cherries and stuff like that. But
That's right.
I had them, and I was tickled to death to trade with her.
I saw this cup in the cabinet this morning, and I thought, I gotta drink all that. It says, give it to God. And then on the back, it says, take a breath, relax, and stop worrying. Have faith, let go, and let God take over.
That's a good thing.
And what a good message. And it makes the coffee taste so good, too. Folks, we're going to go. This is all we're going to do. I'm going to put this soup in a big old Tupperware container. And I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. And I'm going to wash this one kettle. ladle, these 2 bowls and 2 spoons, and this cups, and we're done. I've cleaned everything else.
I was wondering why my hand was itching and
Well, that's
bruised. How did I bruise that?
I don't know, Mama.
I don't know either, but I've done a good job.
Let's blame it on somebody else. Say it's a doctor or somebody probably grabbed it.
I don't think they did that.
Might have been from the IV. Just
No.
pulled. Might have pulled that.
She didn't get it in. She tried here 2 or 3 times and here, and another nurse come and put it right here, and it's not bad. It's no worse than these little blood things to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have nothing there.
Well, we'll just monitor and see what you get from it.
Oh, that tape on that thing.
Yeah,
That's
tape
what-
does bruise you sometimes.
That ox pulse thing.
Pulse ox.
Pulse ox. It was on that
Ox
finger.
pulse.
It was on that finger. And
Ox
taped down.
pulse, did you say, Mama?
Whatever it is, I can't get stuff straight.
Thank you, Miss Maggie. Hey, Beverly. Somehow the comments stopped.
Yeah.
Love it. Wish they...
They at least ain't jumping 4 and 5 at a time.
Alice, I'm not going to... I think I got this at the Family Dollar store. Might have been the Gentral, but I think it was the
You ain't
Family.
been in a gentle one.
No, I think it was the Family Dollar.
Uh-oh, your babies is barking.
Can y'all hear them? When it snows, I've learned that it's just snowed a couple of times, but I think it brings out other animals because they're more active when it snows. And Oliver had never seen snow, and Abby had, but Oliver was all amazed. He just watched the flakes fall.
I think they like to get out and play. in
Oh,
it.
they stay in it. Hello, Miss Alice. Yes, it is a beautiful scene. Good night, John and Mama. Cindy, I think that's a good idea. Let's say good night, Mama.
Good night, Mama.
And I'm going to do my
Vacation time.
dishes, and I'm going to settle in. I'm not going to bed. We're not having church, so...
Just gonna settle down and rest. That sounds
Not
good.
having church on Wednesday night doubles the week for me. It just feels like the next 2 days feel like a long time. It's like church, and then, it's Thursday, Friday. If you don't get church, it's like, it's been a while.
Yeah. You miss me talking to people and seeing them and communicating with them.
I will, Karen. Thank you. Hello, Angela Britt. Unspoken prayer
Angela.
request. Angela Britt's got an unspoken prayer request. Let's remember that.
Yeah.
Angela will be praying for you, whatever's going on.
Oh, let's remember the family in the wreck last night, or
Yeah.
whoever it was.
Someone did lose their life in that wreck. We did hear that. Yeah, it's snowing here. Good night, everyone. Elizabeth says,
Good night.
miracle for Mama. Yes, Gloria Drummond, a miracle. We know. I mean, and I'll never be convinced of anything else, and I knew it immediately when that doctor said that to me. I mean, when you go in, I know I can't quit talking about it, but it means that much. When you go in knowing you've already had a camera in there a month ago, and they said it was 80% blockage and narrowing in a stent that had to be stretched with another stent, and you know you're going to get 2, and he comes in and says none was needed. How else do you explain that? When he was in there and seen it. It wasn't hearsay. It wasn't even a faulty test. He went in with a camera and took pictures. There's photographic evidence of this, actually. What a wonderful blessing. And we
yeah.
give God all the credit.
That's right.
Look at them rosy cheeks.
Oh,
Look at her. She's all colorful and no lipstick and still. Look how pretty you are, Mama.
oh yeah, boy.
Wait till we get her all made up. She'll be home. Sunday
Me, same-
morning.
Same old me.
Mama, you always look like you're, as my granny would always say, jumping out of a bandbox on Sunday morning. What does that mean?
I don't know.
What does that mean? She'd say, well, you look like you just jumped out of a bandbox.
I guess pretty people jumped out of the bandbox.
On Sundays is when she'll say that.
When they's all dressed up.
When you got your Sunday clothes on, your hair's fixed.
Sunday best, they used to say.
She said, well, you look like you jumped out of a bandbox.
She said, Lord, she's got on her Sunday best.
Mm-hmm. Yep. My granny would tell you, Saturday evening about 7 or 8 o'clock at night, we'd be sitting there watching TV or something, and she'd say, I think I'll wear my blue plaid in the morning, or my green flaherty dress. What you gonna wear? Hadn't thought about it, Granny. Well, I think I will. I think I'll wear that red blouse and that black skirt. I think that's what I'm gonna wear. She was so excited to get ready to go to church.
She was wearing her Sunday best.
And she'd get up early. That's where I get it from. And she'd be ready. Like our Sunday school starts at 10 a.m. She'd be ready to go at 9:15. And the rest of the morning, she lived with us. And the rest of the morning, it was like, are Jens going to church or not?
It don't take 5 minutes to get there.
Yeah, that's another thing. We can be there in literally 3 minutes. Are Jens going to church or not? Well, yeah, Granny, we are. Well, then one of you's ready. By 9:30, we're going to be late. Now, Jens,
let's go.
I swear Jens worried me to death.
I'll just walk on if you
And she
think.
would. In the spring, in the summer, she'd say, I'm just going to walk on. She'd be there waiting on us when we got there. But it's not a quarter of a mile. And she walked all the time. And sometimes I said, well, I'm ready. I'll go with you. Me and her to walk. And we'd walk to church. That was our usual. And it kept her from being nervous. If you didn't go out the door by 9:30, you was hearing it, and you was late. I'm not hardly that bad, but I don't like to be late. All right, Mama, you just keep on keeping on. I'm trying to get on.
I don't know when to hush, do I?
Say good night again, Mama.
Good night, Mama. God bless you. So have a wonderful night.
Bye, y'all.